All right, we are going to look at this problem down here. I know there's no space, and I don't know how we're going to get this to, well, you probably have space on yours. I'll do this. Okay, so we have to look, we're given a function, f of x, of 2x squared minus 3x plus 4. And we need to find the limit as x approaches 0 using this function. And we've seen this function before, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and plug everything in the way we did in our summer assignment. Okay, so we're going to say the limit as x approach, or not x, h approaches 0. Okay, so here's where we substitute, right? For every value of x, we are going to substitute this here. Okay, so this is going to be 2x plus h squared minus 3x plus h plus 4, right? Because we have to do this part first, right here. Okay, minus f of x. Okay, so f of x is just this value here, so we would do 2x squared minus 3x plus 4. Okay, all over h. Okay, so I'm going to do the dirty work for you here. And I'm going to FOIL this, distribute, okay, and do all that. So if I FOILed that, this would be x squared plus 2xh plus h squared. Okay, that's just the FOIL of that. Minus 3x plus h plus 4. Okay, then I'm going to distribute. Yeah, I can hear you, although I don't hear you. How much work this is. Okay, all over h. Okay, all right. I am now going to distribute, so I haven't established the limit yet, so I need to do that here. So, well, not yet, I got to distribute, gosh, I know. Plus 4xh plus 2h squared, okay? Minus, and then I'm going to distribute here, minus 3x minus 3h plus 4 minus 2x squared plus 3x minus 4. Hopefully I didn't miss any. All over h. So now let's cancel out some things. Oops. Okay. So what can we cancel? Well, this cancels out the 2x squares. The 3x. What else do we have? And the 4s. Okay, so again, we haven't established the limit yet, so we're going to put that notation there. Okay, and then we have 4xh plus 2h squared minus 3h all over h. I can factor an h. Remember, the goal here is to try to cancel out this h. Okay, all right. So I'm going to factor out the h. This is 4x plus 2h minus 3 all over h. This cancels out. And it says now I can establish that limit as h approaches 0. I can put that in here. Oops. Let's do it down here. 4x plus 2 times 0 minus 3, the limit is 4x minus 3. Okay? I know, that was harsh, but we did it. All right, let's move on. Okay, so for this, these are just properties of limits. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you what I have, and you can press pause so you can write all this stuff down. All right. Oops, sorry. Okay. Okay, so for number one, these are just you've seen these before, the compound functions. Okay, if you have two functions added together, the limit of those functions, you're just going to add them just like this. Same thing with subtraction, the limit of f of x minus the limit of m, okay, or g of x. Here, this is quotient, so you guys get the idea. If you're going to multiply, okay, the limit of the function f of x times the limit of g of x, that's going to be your limit. Now here, if you have a constant or a c value, right, your constant, you're going to take that out. Okay, you're going to find the limit of that, and you're going to multiply that by the limit of the function. If you have a power, you're going to take that out, so you find the limit of the function first, then raise that to the power. And if you have a limit of a constant, it's just that constant. Okay, so take some time to write this down. Okay, let me see if I can zoom in for all. And that way, press pause at this time, and then you can copy this down. Okay, all right. Last page. Let's look at these graphs and then use those functions that we've learned, okay, on that previous page. So here we have two graphs. We have the graph of f of x and the graph of g of x. And we're going to use the properties of limits to help us establish what these limits are. Okay. All right, so it says the limit as x approaches 2 from the left of f of x plus g of x. So again, when we write this out to establish that we understand what's happening, we're going to write it separately, okay, because the writers want to see that you understand what is happening here. Okay, so because this is addition, we're going to use addition. So we're going to look at positive 2 from the left. So from the left up here, that's going to approach 3. And then g of x here, as it approaches 2 from the left, that will hit 1. So that answer is 4. Okay, so next one, you have a number here, so we're actually going to take that out. So 2 times the limit as x approaches negative 1 of f of x minus 3 times the limit as x approaches negative 1 of g of x. Okay, so again, we're establishing that limit. So 2 times, if we go from negative 1, so we need to check both sides. Okay, so negative 1 is here, so from the left and from the right it is negative 6. We're going to minus here, and then from g of x from the left and from the right is negative 1. And then we just use simple math here. So negative 12 plus 3 is equal to 9. Okay, let's do one more together. All right, so here we're going to subtract. So again, you're going to write out what you understand the limit to be. which is just like this. And here we need to check from the left and from the right. Okay, so from the left, here f of x, so -3, here is -2. From the right, we want to just double check, so that's also -2, minus, now we're going to check g of x. So from -3 from the left is positive infinity, from the right is negative infinity. So this limit here does not exist. Okay, so therefore this entire limit does not exist. Okay, and the reason is because g of x has a vertical asymptote at x is equal to 3. So you have to be specific at where that asymptote is. Okay, all right. Go ahead and do the rest. Press pause at this time, and then go ahead. I'll put up the answers once we are done here. Okay. All right. Now I'm not going to do all the work here, but I am going to write the answers of the limits, okay, in these corners here, so that you can check your work. You have to be careful with this, because this is the same thing as saying 2g of x to the positive half power. So remember, we talked about that. So you want to establish that limit from there. Okay, and that's going to be 2 radical 3. This answer is -1/3, and this answer is -5. So hopefully that was helpful. Sorry, I know I leave tomorrow morning, and I'm trying to do this at 7 o'clock the night before. Okay, all right. Have a good one. Happy testing tomorrow. Bye.